So I'm going to start with the story and bring that back around to stewardship. The weekend had been filled with laughter and conversation. Members and friends from age 4 to 84 or older were sharing meals around tables, experiencing together what it means to take care of our planet, particularly how our faith impacts that call. And in the evenings, 2 evenings, we gathered around a bonfire, singing with guitar and banjo, and of course there were s'mores present. Saturday afternoon, the crisp spring weather drew everyone outside to enjoy the sun, for hiking, the high ropes course for some, and bird watching. And Sunday morning was so special. We gathered in the woods on benches with a wooden cross for a moving closing worship. And as we prepared to leave that day, one woman shared, "I have been a member of this church for more than 15 years. But in the last 36 hours, I have learned more about the people in this community than I have in all of those years." And while Jim and I have not been members here that long, I will share that we both feel a closer kinship with the participants on that retreat last spring. I remember walking toward our worship gathering on Sunday morning with Rennie Edwards. She was excited to have heard earlier that morning a whippoorwill, and she shared with me a story as a child. Her mother would say to her, "You cannot go outside barefoot until you hear the whippoorwill sing." And now, with Rennie singing in our choir, I can't look at her without thinking about a whippoorwill. God created humans for a relationship with God, with others, with our own souls, and with creation. And it runs counter to God's intention for us to give so little time and attention to those relationships. At the deepest part of our being, we long for a relationship with God and to belong to a community. And yet, the hectic pace of our everyday lives actually spills over into our religious practices and in our relationships with others within this community, because our already full lives compete for time and energy with our church responsibilities. Yes, I'm looking at all of you who are so active in this church, and even with our attendance. Our church retreats provide the chance to have informal conversations, to play games, to walk in the woods, to read scripture, and to worship together in a different context. From these experiences come a deeper sense of being part of a community of God, of God's people, that actually will have a lasting effect upon the lives of all who participate. And as Catherine said, this Sunday was supposed to be a retreat on the Virginia Creeper Trail, but the trail was damaged. But even so, members and friends of this congregation, as we speak, are getting off of their bicycles to enjoy a picnic together. In addition to the bike ride and picnic today, in 2024, West Raleigh hosted or sent groups on the following retreats: the annual All-Spring Retreat for the whole congregation, a young adult retreat in Montreat, a 3rd and 5th to 5th grade retreat at Camp Agape. Our high school youth went to Montreat for the Montreat Youth Conference I attended when I was in high school, and the group went to the Women's Conference in Montreat. I share my story because retreats are an integral part of the community of life together here. As we enter stewardship season, a portion of our budget is designated to offset the cost of these retreats. And while participants cover most of the cost of going on these retreats, there are expenses that are covered from the operating budget and from restricted funds as well. And so I hope you agree with me about the importance of our retreats in faith and community formation. and I ask you to bear this in mind during the upcoming stewardship season.